So South Africa is dealing with two serious problems right now. One is unemployment, another one is crime. And the two of them are very related because the higher the unemployment rate, the higher the rate of crime. Because you have people that are just idle, sitting in the townships and having nothing to do. And they're very, very vulnerable to joining gangs and vulnerable to joining crime syndicates. So, and also getting into addiction like Nyaope. The pandemic is disgusting. And this government refuses to do anything about it. So the topic of the day is to discuss with you, and I'd like you to comment and let's have a discussion about this and really be open and honest about it. That our president, President Ramaphosa, does not have what it takes to solve the problems that South Africa is facing at the moment. And I'm going to put two of those problems at the top: crime and unemployment. And before we get into that, please visit hutful.org.za. Find a way to get involved with what we are doing. Number one, we are raising funds for the Hutful Patrol Unit pilot project that we are doing in Ivory Park in Midrand. And number two, the constitutional court case that we are building against the ANC government for high levels of crime. Go to our website, very, very easy to navigate. You'll be able to navigate it and see how you can get involved. Click on the contribute button and choose any amount that you want to contribute. So back to the topic. So we have a president at the moment who I believe very strongly that does not have what it takes to solve the issues that we are facing, which is crime and unemployment. He either doesn't have what it takes or he's not interested in solving those problems because of some hidden agenda. And I just want to start with unemployment. We have a situation that is brewing at the moment, almost like bubbling under, of graduates, and this is a number of over 200,000 rand of graduates that leave universities and colleges and higher education institutions across the country with qualifications. How are you going to accommodate those graduates? How are you going to make sure that the economy that is not growing is going to absorb these new skilled people? And at the moment, the unemployment rate for graduates is around 10%. So the question I'm asking myself is, we saw at the beginning of the year, every year with these institutions, we have an influx of people that are coming out of matric into institutions, over 1 million of them. They walk into academic institutions, they do 3 to 4 and 5 year degrees, and they come out on the other end, but the economy is not growing at all. How are you going to make sure that they get absorbed in the economy? How are you going to make sure that their skills match what is required in the economy? Number two, people that just have matric, people that finish matric, either did not get entry into university or colleges, or do not have the financial means. That's about 40% unemployment rate. What are you going to do with those people? Because they're going to finish matric, sit at home, they don't have enough skills to do any job. Number two, there are not jobs available anyway. So in summary, you have about 8 million unemployed people in the country. 8 million. So the question I'm asking you is, in 3 years' time, how many millions will it be? Meaning that the issue of unemployment has to be dealt with today. If we don't deal with this issue today, we are creating a very, very serious problem. We have young people that are doing nothing, sitting at home, and every year that number increases by hundreds of thousands. So, looking at the setup that we have in the country with Ramaphosa as the president of this country, I do not believe that he has the capacity to deal with this issue. Either he's ignoring the issue completely or he's just not capable of dealing with it. And the people that are around him, the whole GNU is such a disappointment to me. Because when the GNU came about, everybody thought, wow, accountability, number one, would be the business of the day. We're going to start seeing some serious improvements when it comes to especially the portfolios that those people from other parties are holding. But what we find is that the GNU has become more like just an extension of the ANC, because those people, whether they're ministers or sitting in departments that are very serious, they're just implementing ANC policies anyway. So I'm very disappointed about the GNU. But as a president of the country, we are waiting and looking out for your leadership to get us out of the problem that we find ourselves in, which is unemployment. So you tell me in the comments if you believe that Ramaphosa, as a president of this country for the second term, can deal with the issue of unemployment in this country, or we're just hoping for something that's never going to happen. Number two, the issue of crime, something I'm very passionate about because I believe that until we deal with the issue of crime, we will not be able to clean up our country and restore the economy that we all know we can have as a country. Corruption. I mentioned in yesterday's video that the ANC is the face of corruption. This president, President Ramaphosa, is not capable of dealing with corruption because he's corrupt himself. If you are going to deal with corruption and then arrest and prosecute people that are doing corruption, you have to be a clean person yourself. So the ANC, like everybody already knows, it is a criminal organization. So everybody that is in the ANC cannot deal with corruption. The president of the ANC cannot deal with corruption because everybody around him is corrupt. The issue of crime will not be dealt with for as long as Ramaphosa is president. So you prove me wrong. You give me the facts in the comments if you believe Ramaphosa is capable of dealing with the issue of crime. And I mentioned corruption. And the violence that our country experiences, the violence on our women. I mention this every single video that I make because I'm passionate about dealing with the issues of crime. What are we going to do with the issue of gender-based violence? What are we going to do with the issue of hijackings, business robberies, break-ins? What are we going to deal with that? Mass shootings now are a business of the day. You tell me in the comments if you believe that this president, President Ramaphosa, is capable of dealing with the issue of crime. We've got Zamazamas doing illegal mining in the backyard of people. Right? We know where they are. We know how they operate. And they're terrorizing communities. But this president refuses to put his foot down and say enough. And back to the issue of crime. We have an influx of immigrants in this country. Uncontrolled mass immigration that is complicating the already vulnerable situation we find ourselves in when it comes to jobs, unemployment, and the crime itself. The justice system is broken. And then while it's broken, you let millions of people come in the country that you cannot account for. So this president either is incapable of dealing with the situation or refuses to deal with it. But my conclusion is he is not capable of dealing with it. He does not have what it takes. Until we find a president who's got what it takes, we will not deal with these issues. So I want to hear in the comments, tell me what you believe. Do you believe that Ramaphosa is the right guy to deal with crime and unemployment? I'm just picking those two because the list is way too long. But crime, unemployment, it is literally breaking this country down. It is literally collapsing our nation. The fabric of this country is being broken down by young people who have graduated, they're sitting at home, they have no hope for the future. And when they turn into crime, we're going to sit back and be surprised why they do that. So we are creating a society that has absolutely no hope. We're creating a group of young people that do not even believe in the future. So we need a president that can make us believe again. We need a president that can say, guys, we're going to clamp down on criminals. We're going to knock on doors. We're going to take them out. You need a president that is firm, a president that can take action. Be decisive, man. Take action against crime. Show these criminals that you have the authority to stop them from terrorizing your citizens. So anyway, I just want to keep it short to about 5 minutes. But in summary, let's have a discussion. Do you believe that Ramaphosa has got what it takes to deal with crime and unemployment? Let's meet in the comments. Until then, stay safe.